The following presentation is part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
From the farthest reaches of the galaxy, the Midwest, you're watching Beyond the Blast Doors live.
We are live on a Wednesday, earlier than normal. That's a common theme lately, isn't it? It is episode 108 of Beyond the Blast Doors live on this Wednesday. Ignore the graphic on your screen. Do not look at the man behind the curtain. This is Beyond the Blast Doors live, and we have a lot to get to this week. Darth Maul showing up. Maybe Boba Fett gets his own comic. Probably a new video game for the Nintendo Switch. Sure. Why not? We haven't had Star Wars news in 2 weeks, and we're going to drop just a mother load of goodness all in the last 24 hours. And have we prepped for it? Partially. I'm not by myself. I'm never here by myself. I'm always joined with friends, good, loving people. I appreciate them so much. We have Arezou and we have Scotty J-Ro. Folks, how we doing, mate?
Great.
Good.
Yeah, energy, guys. Yeah, really good energy. Really feeling confident.
Would it help if we started like...
You know, we just got a lot going on. First things first here, I want to dive right into it. We've outlined what we have, an abridged show. But first things first, apparently we're getting Star Wars Bounty Hunter, or Star Wars Hunter is the name of this game. Hunter. Scotty, what's going on here with the Nintendo Switch?
So I'm reading it right now. Okay, the company Zynga out, and this is the. I don't know if they get into the of doing this, but they announced like a Star Wars Fortnite styled game, like a battle royale. I mean, you're a different type of fighter, and they showed some avatars from this. The trailer's pretty good. It's literally 30 seconds, and I was shocked because like usually Nintendo's pretty exclusive of what, but this is one of the ones that I did not see coming from today's Nintendo Direct. I'm a big guy, by the way. I don't know if anyone knows. So maybe this will show up PS4 or PS5 or other next-gen consoles, but this really surprised me. So it's a fast-paced, I'm reading it right here. It's an immersive, multiplayer, fast-paced, visually stunning Star Wars conflict. It takes place between Episode 6 and Episode 7. Really interesting. So we don't know exactly when it is. I believe it's going to be just some squad-based multiplayer game. So I don't know. I'm really kind of shocked that we got this reveal from Nintendo. This usually comes from bigger sources like E3 or other things. So here we are. I'm excited for it. I am very excited for it.
Yeah, I found the trailer here on the internet, and I'm not going to play audio because I don't want to get pinged for copyright.
Look at that.
Playable characters. I'm not a Switch guy. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't own one. The last gaming platform I bought was a PS2. So it's been a while. And not that slim thing. I'm talking about that thick,
beast
round PS2. So so that's the trailer. It's probably gonna play again. That's fine. Oh, do we care about Legend of Zelda? Probably not.
Not right now.
I think it's great. I think it's great for those who game, but it doesn't really impact me any much because I won't invest. If I would invest in a platform, it would be a PS5. It would be the new version of the Xbox. I would want that kind of gaming experience. I haven't enjoyed a handheld gaming platform really since the Game Boy Advance, in which I rocked some Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby. So I'm continually dating myself on this. Arezou, did you even hear about this news? Do you even care about the news?
I was excited because I have a Switch. So I was excited until I saw Fortnite, and then I'm like, oh, I have to play online with other people. Then I was marginally less excited. But if there's like a story mode,
would you say that
being Fortnite? But
would you say that your experience in Star Wars is hindered by the more people that you have to tolerate?
It's not that I have to tolerate them; they have to tolerate me.
You don't have to make yourself the problem.
The last time I played Battlefront Online, I got yelled at by a teenager.
Well, F that kid. I don't like these keyboard warriors. These people that hide behind their monitors and they're like brave and tough. And then
I'll play on my own, but I don't want to get yelled at again.
I hate people. All right, hey, let's do this. Shout out to the live chat. We got Matthew, Galanorian Saber, Andy, JD. We got Apprentice Ewok. I just dropped my phone in my lap, and I think I just spilled water on my lap. That just happened. That's what Josh did. Remember that Josh a few weeks ago spilled water in his lap? Let me tell you, that feels refreshing. I feel like I'm in a pool right now. That is delicious. Okay, we got Mr. Rez. We got Alex. on a school night. No, wait, we're off in Louisiana for Mardi Gras, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're noticing, if we're having connection issues with Scotty, it's because he lives in Louisiana. It's a state that doesn't have the best infrastructure, especially for cold weather, because some places in the world operate that it'll never get cold where they are, but then it does. And then they're like, man, maybe we should invest in this instead of like fossil fuels, which depletes our stock market when our new president decides we're going to try and go green and clean. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way we want it to. Okay, so that's a rant. I give that up for Lent. Dang it. I'm not ranting. So close. Hey, really happy that everybody is here hanging out with us. Real quick, before we dive into the first main topic, everyone's been incredibly sweet the last couple of weeks. Why is the show early? You know why the show's early. Going to go down and hang out with the Pops. Next week, we'll be on our normal time. However, a rumor has it that Arezou and Scotty would both appreciate it if we did move up the regular show time by about an hour. So we will see how that develops, and we'll let you know. And we will plan accordingly. And at the very least, we'll update the graphic so that way it's the right episode number and the right time we go live. But as always, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember, hashtag bring Cad Bane back, baby. We pushing this. We want it to happen. Live action. Let's go. Arezou's not even interested in it. And Scotty's just like, why am I even on this show? He's just over here. He's like, what's going on?
Cad Bane's fine, but
unbelievable.
That's your baby, David.
It is. I'm driving it. I think that I'm the only one that's yelling it out into the ethos. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've turned a page. I used to be like, no, I only want live action Cad Bane because I think that would be really sweet. I'm accepting that probably isn't going to happen. It's more likely to happen in Bad Batch, where they're going to have a filler sequence, and it's just going to be like, Cad Bane gets killed by Boba Fett, and that's honestly okay, because the hashtag, and again, if you don't remember it from a second ago, hashtag bring Cad Bane back. It doesn't require live action or animation. I just have to see my blue Duros scoundrel back on screen with his cowboy hat, his dual pistons, and then I'm happy. So that's honestly that's what I have to look forward to in my life right now. Is hashtag bring Cad Bane back. Hey, let's talk some Star Wars, everybody. And we're kicking things off with Maul talk here because this is what excites me. And that is Ray Park going on social media and sharing images of himself getting dialed up as Maul, he says, for Solo. But the timing to me is a little interesting. So I thought for some fun little conversation here, I start off with Arezou, my friend, my co-Star Wars host here. And Arezou, is this simply Ray Park just wanting to talk about Maul and his experience getting dialed up? Or do you think the timing is a little bit more convenient with Obi-Wan Kenobi starting production?
I hope it's just him wanting to talk about Maul. Just because I don't want Maul and Kenobi. So I hope this is just him reminiscing about this character, because it just wouldn't work if he was in Kenobi, because if you get Ray Park, right, you're naturally going to want him to fight because that's what he does. But we've already got twin sons, which is just such a beautiful conclusion to that character, and it dilutes it if we know that some point years before they had this more all-out brawl. So I'm kind of hoping that this is just him reminiscing. At most, maybe they want to do like a Phantom Menace era flashback. But that's what I would be willing to accept.
Listen, I think we're on the right track now. Scotty, can you jump in here? Tell me why Maul would make sense in Kenobi, because I don't think it's going to be a recreation of the Rebels finale. That's
what I'm afraid of. Is that that's what they want to do? But if it was a flashback, I'd be fine with it.
Scotty, let's go in this place. A flashback with Maul igniting a lightsaber, maybe stabbing Duchess Satine with a crimson red blade. What do you think? What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
I love it. I'm for that only because I think that Maul is such a great character, and not enough people know he has a deeper story than just the Phantom Menace, right? And now Solo. So if this can get people watching Clone Wars and Rebels, by all means, put him in the Kenobi live action show in a convincing way. Maybe a line. I think he's still out there. I think he might be looking for me, or something like that. Bring it to where everyone has an interest in now saying, wait, I want to watch this Clone Wars stuff. because people are now watching Clone Wars and Rebels because of what Mando did with Ahsoka and what Mando did with everything else. So,
I'm not
Give
really
him
a big fan. Go ahead.
nightmare. Give him a Satine being murdered nightmare.
yep.
Oh
Give
my
him
god.
that.
Okay, think about this. What if it was somehow like like the Force Vision and Force Awakens? Kenobi is like meditating and his meditation goes wild, right? And you get like Maul, but it's like Ray Park Maul, stabbing Qui-Gon Jinn. And then maybe it's like him coming out of a pile. Like maybe you recreate how like Maul and Kenobi first met again in Clone Wars, and then he's stabbing Duchess Satine, and then you have him on Mandalore, and there's Mandalorians, the Death Watch is all flying behind him, and it's just sequence after sequence, and it's just like that would be wild. Like it's all zooming at the screen. I can see it. I can see it. And people, I don't like people who body shame, even though that I body shame myself like on a frequent basis.
Like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, Ray Park. Like he's got that man is in incredible shape for being in his mid 40s. And like if it's just going to be like shirtless Ray Park whipping that double-edged lightsaber around, like I'm all for it. Like it's a thirst trap, and I'm not even into dudes, but that's a thirst trap. That's a Star Wars bona fide thirst trap. Ray Park, no shirt. He's got the ear piercing, right? He doesn't take it out.
Yep.
And he's just whipping that blade around. He posted a video, I think it was like a year ago, that I saw for the very first time yesterday. And he's got these two like saber forge blades, and he's whipping them around. And then all of a sudden he looks at the camera, gives you like a little snarl, like and then he starts unscrewing the bottom hill. You know where this is going. This is like porn for Star Wars fans. And it's like he puts them together. He puts the butt ends together, right? And he just starts going like he's bouncing off the wall. He's like doing kicks off. Like this is his residential facility. He lives in this place, and he's like jump kicking himself off of like the drywall. It was incredible. There has to be structural damage. How much he was thrusting himself towards and off of these walls. It was nuts. Loved it. It was great.
That's the dream.
Yeah, it was awesome. Hey, listen, there's really not a story here. It's just the fact that he shared these photos, and it got everyone in a tizzy, including me.
Very much so.
And titillated. I really am. I think the timing is to be playful and a tease. It makes no sense on mid or early February, depending on how you look at the 16th or the 15th. Mid-February, makes no sense just to randomly share those photos. He could have shared those photos at any time in the last 3 years? Maybe my math is off there. 4 years. You get my point. I think he's teasing Maul's coming back in some form. And if it's not Kenobi, maybe it is somehow a make Solo 2 happen project. I know that would make our friends over at Resistance Broadcast happy. Thousands of fans across the world who do love, maybe it's like hundreds of thousands who like Solo. I like Solo. It just, it wasn't marketed. But I want to see Maul and Kenobi. That would be great. Thirst trap, meditation gone wild. It'd be a lot of fun. Okay. Anything else we want to touch on?
One thing I like how fleshy the horns looked. That was kind of weird. Pull that picture up real quick. Yeah, it's weird to think it's before they painted the black and red.
It's like silicone,
like they made it. Yeah, they made it like a little skin texture. I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting.
They're probably using like a base.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing, right? Because they have to make that the same color as his face. So when they use the same paint, it's a consistent shade.
Well, it's just funny to see it.
I'm not a cosplayer, and I need to pull this up. This is not going to fill this screen, and that's quite okay. It's probably just going to cover me, but this is the image. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so like you see how like it's Maul's head in his lap. It is a concern. I don't know what's happening, but that's what it looks like, dialed up. And I just was under the impression that, what would that be? Why would there be a second Maul head? That makes no sense.
There isn't. It's not on his head yet.
But what is that?
Do you see? That's the skull cap. That's what goes on here.
Oh,
because you see, like right behind his ear, is somebody's fingers. So they're finishing here before they put the cap on.
Okay.
Oh,
so here's a better look at the bland head before it's all tatted up. Yeah, very fleshy. Looks kind of icky. What do you think about this? Do you think it's like odd timing that Ray Park would just share these images on social media? Is he trying to take advantage of fans like me who just get a little bit excited about the fact that we could have a Ray Park Darth Maul, Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi reunion back on screen, live action, lightsabers galore? let me know down in the comments below. You can let me know. B2BD Star Wars all the time. Live chat thinks I'm ridiculous. Let's see what's going on here. Galanorian says Dave has figured it out. That's great. Alex, oh my gosh, Arezou is on fire.
There you go.
Yeah, girl.
Thanks, Alex.
JD's like, more Black Sun backstory. Like,
I
let's
agree.
make it happen.
I agree.
Okay. Yeah, Crimson Dawn needs to be explored more. And I'm a firm believer that that's how you would make Solo 2 happen, right? You explore Crimson Dawn. You see how Maul is going to pull together the Pike Syndicate and all these other different fractions across the galaxy, and how he takes control, the role Mandalore plays in all of that. What are the Hutts engaged in this malarkey? I don't know. Possibly. Could be. They have like some trade routes that might be valuable. That would be fun to explore from that perspective. So instead of following like your scoundrel Han Solo Chewbacca, maybe it's from the viewpoint of Maul, and you make him the focal. I don't know. People are going to tell you that you can't make the villain the focal point there, but I think it can be done.
You can if you don't call it Solo 2. Just call something else.
It's true. Give it something else.
Maul's Revenge. Maul's Blood Trap.
It's my
Thirst Trap.
favorite PS2 game. That's what that sounds like.
What? What's your favorite
Maul's.
PS2 game?
I'm just being sarcastic. Maul's Revenge. This is what it sounds like.
When I say Maul's, I think so. St. Louis barbecue sauce is Maul's is like from like 1902. It's a very old. It's a runny, wet barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
And I like a Sweet Baby Ray's
Of
or
course.
like a Casey
Sugar.
Masterpiece. You know, a little bit more sugar, but it congeals a little bit. You know, there's like some texture there. Okay, this whole rant thing is really just going.
That's like your
rampant.
fourth rant, and you said you weren't going to do them anymore.
I know, it's already 7:49. Time check brought to you by me. Alex says, so if Cad Bane got sniped with 2 seconds of screen time, you'd be glad with that, David? Listen.
Ooh.
It says bring Cad Bane back. It doesn't say hashtag bring Cad Bane back for an extended amount of time. It just says bring Cad Bane back. So yeah, I would be fine. I'd be fine.
Shows up, gets killed, and then it's over.
Yeah, man. I mean, it would just be, it would, you know what? We really need to complete this character's arc, and it would bring closure to this character that I've been invested in. I'm such an idiot. I'm glad that everyone's having fun. We say that every time, but really, like, everyone is having the live chat has its own show. Canon Junkie, I'm with you, David. Bring Cad Bane back. So we appreciate that. Matthew in the live chat, a few others joining us, all remaining systems. So great to see everyone there. Andy's with us, so that's awesome. Everyone's having a good time. Matthew says Maul is second best baddie in Star Wars history. That is true. I would say that Vader would be the best, but honestly, I don't know if Vader has a cooler mythos statue than Asajj Ventress. Have you seen that thing? Andy has it. Yeah. It's massive. It's literally as big as like my waist, upper torso, head. It's massive. It's bad ass in the most wonderful of ways. We're gonna go to the next topic here because I didn't even use the lower at all during the whole thing. I just kept it on our names.
There it is.
But there is. Ray Park shares photos of Maul transformation for Solo. Fans curious about timing. Some question if this is a tease for Obi-Wan Kenobi cameo. All right. Well, there you go. That's it's a graphic I slaved on. I didn't even use it. But this Maul Thirst Trap brought to you by Beyond the Blast Doors Live. Okay, cool. So the next thing I want to talk about is this new comic that got dropped on us within the last 24 hours. It's the fact that we are going to get War of Bounty Hunters. This is Boba Fett helmed, but it's Charles Soule kind of navigating this crossover event. And guys, I'm freaking out about this. When you were on the internet yesterday, did you guys see that the black poster of Boba Fett? It was so cool. It was like gothic. And I want to pull it up for us now if I can. But my computer's not cooperating. Oh, here we go. This is insane. Love the artwork here. And we're just going to take me out of the shop. But look at that. That is gorgeous. Wow. It's not very often that I want comic book art more than 8x11. Yeah. That thing is it's gorgeous. So
poster worthy.
We got this massive crossover announced. So Marvel Comics in charge of it, of course, right? They own the licensing. This goes May through October, and it kicks off with War of the Bounty Hunters called Alpha Number 1. Charles Soule, Steve McNiven are the duo on this project. Really exciting, but it's going to run through everything. Star Wars Bounty Hunters, Darth Vader, Dr. Aphra, and then it will wrap up again with Charles Soule and Luke Ross. That episode that issue, I should say, is in June.
That's the main line, right?
That's the main line. Arezou, you chimed in. Let's go this way first. Are we at a point where this is just the expected hype around Boba Fett as we get closer to Book of Boba Fett? Does this feel timely to you, or do you feel like we're thrusting too much Boba Fett front and center here?
I mean, I think that's why they're doing it, because I love Charles Soule's work, but the reasoning of well, obviously he didn't make it right to Jabba's, and I'm sure we're all wondering where. I'm like, I wasn't. I don't think anybody was. And there is a little bit of a thing where if there's 10 minutes of unexplored time, they feel the need to make a 12-issue comic series out of it. But that said, if it's going to cross over into all the other comic lines to sort of ramp it up for Book of Boba Fett, it makes sense, because if it's running till October, then that gives us a month, and then Book of Boba Fett starts. So I think as timing wise, it does make sense to do a Boba centric crossover.
If you guys don't know, Luke Ross is an exceptional artist. Some of my favorite comics in my collection are Luke Ross covers. And that's not to be confused with Alex Ross, who is also an exceptional comic book artist. So hearing these combinations, McNiven in his own right, also very talented. So you should be excited about the talent here on this project. If you're not invested wholeheartedly into the comic books right now in Star Wars, well, then this is perfect, because this is crossing over with every Star Wars line that's going on right now. So what a great chance for you to explore each of the characters that are being produced right now. If you don't know everything about Dr. Aphra, well, here's a sample issue you're going to be able to have where she seems to weave into this main story and cross paths with Boba Fett. I like how you take Boba Fett, which is by no means a lead character in the sense that, he's kind of in the background. Obviously, things have changed with Mandalorian and now Book Boba Fett. But this recognizable character, you're going to dive into it, but you're going to play with Vader. You're going to play with maybe other bounty hunters, IG-88, IG-11. I don't know.
That'd be great.
Dr. Aphra. Scotty, talk about this. I mean, this comic book series, as someone who, is diving into the High Republic stuff right now, when you see this miniseries, this crossover get announced, it's like you're grabbing all your favorite action figures off the shelf and starting to play.
Yeah, and I'd imagine it's going to be better than the run we have already. Not the run that we have already is bad. I just know that people have not been happy with the route it's gone in terms of how it treats some of its characters. So I think, Charles Soule coming and saving the day yet again, which he's really good at doing. I mean, so I just love the fact that Boba Fett is now going to have a little bit of a renaissance, and we're going to see it full throttle in December of 2021, and it's going to keep going. So I think this announcement was great. I think the timing of it's great. We've got, a couple things. I mean, Boba Fett should show up in Bad Batch. You never know. So you can have a lot of tie-in here that no one's expecting and make it the year of Boba Fett,
Pre-order is not available at this time. It's going to be made available, I would think, within the next couple of weeks. Very interesting take here from the live chat. All remaining systems, they should have called it comic book of Boba Fett. That seems a little bit on the nose, but that would have made, maybe for a branding point of view, that would have made a lot of sense. I'm thrilled.
If that's not what they're calling it when they release the trade paperback, I'm going to be very disappointed. In all the marketing.
Yeah, oh gosh, and I will say this as a comic book collector, I really do enjoy the crossover series and trade, because what will happen is they will have these issues that we've mentioned off, and there's going to be 5 or 6 of them. And there's always a chance that they'll find a bonus like a bonus issue from one of the lines and slide that in there. So you get the real full story, which is really fun. And, it doesn't really happen as much in Star Wars as it does a Batman, for example. I think of The Long Halloween, and I think of, R.I.P. Batman from 2011 timeframe. Those comics gathering all those different crossover issues into one place is really fun. And again, because you get to play with all these different characters that you don't if you just follow Aphra or you just follow the Bounty Hunters run, which is unfortunately by and large my least favorite comic out there right now. But you should still buy it to support your local comic book shop. What do you think about the announcement of the miniseries? Are you excited? Do you read comics? You want to buy it? Do you not read comics? You want to buy it? Do you read comics and you won't buy it? Why would you not buy it? Don't be rude. Buy it. Let us know what you think. Tweet us at BTBD Star Wars. Comment section. We're on a roll.
One thing I will say is I think everyone in here, especially Arezou and I, have been a Boba Fett like deny her at first, like, you know, the cardboard cutout behind me. I wouldn't have bought that if it wasn't for the Mandalorian. So like it's weird now that we're in this era where like people that normally did not care for Boba Fett at first is now they're now going to care a lot more about the character. Maybe not what he did before Mandalorian, but maybe definitely what he does after. So
100%. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I'm definitely on the record back in, I guess, November, whenever the first episode of Mando dropped, October, being like, that better be Rex who turned around. I don't want this to be Boba Fett. Like, that better not be Boba Fett. I'm gonna be so pissed if it's Boba Fett. And like, here I am, Team Boba Fett. So
yep.
Yeah.
We've I don't know how much we've converted you or influenced you. I think you kind of do things on your own, which is why I like you a lot. I don't think you succumb to peer pressure. But if I played any small role and you come on, I'm flattered. I'm glad I could be part of that. It means
you guys get to witness this evolution.
Wow.
Guys, I gotta tell you, I'm really emotional because I just finished the season finale, the final season finale of Schitt's Creek. If you don't watch that show, you have to watch that show. I think it's so funny. And that last episode just wrecked me. And I'm getting in my feelings because I want to have a shared experience with someone like all those characters in Schitt's Creek. So anyways, that's tangent number 7. Seriously, it's a great show. I also watched the Tiger Woods documentary on HBO. And yeah, he's a jerk, but he won a golf tournament again. So he's cool again. All right, cool. So I'm going to get flack for this graphic. And I showed Arezou before it because I just think it's kind of funny. And it's accurate. This isn't clickbait. This could be redistributed as a clip.
Look at this. David. David.
I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem. I don't. I think that we're just going to sit on this a little bit longer.
That's because you're not the one who gets called an upstart in a cheap t-shirt on the internet like I do.
Oh, that's kind of rough. Hey, no, but seriously, here's what we're talking about. The Cara Dune toys and merch have been pulled off the shelves, and I wanted to bring in Andy or Josh in to really talk about this from a collectibles expert perspective. Not possible this week, and that's okay. But it's interesting how Hasbro has, kind of in line with Disney, putting a hold on the Cara Dune character. Hasbro has come out and told distributors that Cara Dune merch is not happening for a while. We actually have this from Big Bad Toy Store. This was sent to customers. And on this, it says, hey, thanks for pre-ordering this toy, but Hasbro has canceled production of the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Cara Dune Mandalorian figure. We've also come to learn that this includes the future Black Series and the vintage.
Wow.
Which is a bummer because both of these figures looked fantastic. Now, my question, Scotty, I'll go to you this time first. As you know, we're figure junkies. We're technically all three of us are. We all like collecting different types of figures. The toy stores, the shelves there are bare as it is.
Yeah.
Most people buy their collection now online. This seems Hasbro's kind of hurting itself in a way because now there's even less Star Wars merch now available on the shelves for people to buy. Do you take it that way, or do you think that I'm just missing the point? What should I be understanding about this situation?
I take it because people haven't acknowledged this. Yes, The Mandalorian or Lucasfilm has decided to part ways with Gina Carano due to her comments, but not just them. Her agency that gets her those jobs also did the same exact thing. Is it wrong for Hasbro to do that? I don't think so. They're a private company. They have every right to pull that character's action figure off. It's entirely up to them. Now, am I the one that said they should pull it off the shelves immediately? Maybe let them sell once they're all sold, then do what you want with them. You know what I mean? Because it's just going to be interesting how this plays out. Yeah, I think it's kind of silly to pull it all because obviously we need more figures on shelves, and I go to my Walmart once or twice a week. When I go there, there's nothing. I mean, there is nothing in terms.
But Walmart's not even a toy store. I mean, that's the thing, though,
right?
Because online sales are so popular now. You don't have a Toys R Us or a KB Toys that you go to anymore. If you want toys, you're going to like in person. You're in a Target or a Walmart. I am curious about this aspect: the value of likeness and brand. Okay, it's kind of what Scotty touched on here. Contractually, the likeness of an individual is owned by the company to do merchandise. I work in broadcast news. My likeness is owned by my station, so they can, if they want to use my face on a billboard or on a poster or in a promotion, they don't have to ask for my permission. I've given them that ability. I think there's something similar happening here with Hasbro. There's probably something contractually where, well, if this is not the character anymore, the aesthetically, then we're going to stop production. We do know, thanks to the Hollywood Reporter, a further report shows that there is conversation happening of that character being recast, but there's nothing planned with that character in the next 18 months because we have Book of Boba Fett coming out at the end of this year. So it will be interesting to see how that moves forward. I guess a lot could change in the galaxy, but Arezou, if we're focused just on the character of Cara Dune, a character that a lot of young men and women look to as a strong character in Star Wars, do you think this kind of hurts fans' affection and celebration of that character by not having those kind of toys, that kind of merchandise available?
So purely looking at the character, I think the majority of people that I saw celebrating her did not celebrate only her as a strong character, as a strong rebel, as a strong, I don't know, Alderaan refugee, like none of it. Like none of the things she was celebrated for, she is exclusive for. So it's not as though she were the only female character in Star Wars and now we don't have one. So I think the people most hurt by the decision to pull the toys is like the collectors, like people who want every single figure. Now just we'll have to live knowing that they don't have that.
Like the Andy and Joshes of the world,
basically, like, which is cool. Like everybody's got their collection, and that's just kind of where it is. But like to your point about her likeness, I think part of the reason they're pulling everything is because she owns her likeness in part. They have to pay her for it if they use it.
Oh yeah,
like that's why, to go on like another franchise tangent, that's why Disney doesn't make any merchandise with that princess that Amy Adams played in Enchanted, because she owns her likeness, so it costs them more. So that's why I think that's part of what I think they're doing, is that they can sort of cut the paycheck that they're giving her.
I do want to shout out real quick Aaron Couch, who is a writer for the Hollywood Reporter. I thought he did a really bang-up job on his write-up. In it, he details some of the finer details, which was able to confirm that Cara Dune was supposed to be part of Rangers of the New Republic. She was originally part of that December 10th investors call where she was going to be present there with Kathleen Kennedy, and that was scratched. Also, very interesting to find out, she made 25 to 50 grand per episode, and I'd be kind of curious to find out how that compares to other people on that cast, because that seems shockingly low. But maybe I'm wrong. It's all about what's, relatively to the budget of that show, it's probably appropriate. But I was like,
the thing is that whenever we hear about TV actors' salaries, it's always like when the cast of Friends held out for more money, or like the Big Bang Theory, like, and those are absurdly high salaries.
Yeah,
this isn't like that odd.
Yeah,
for
I think
somebody of her role size.
And again, I need to look more into like the revenue from The Mandalorian. We do know Disney reports about like a third of its revenues coming from Disney Plus, which is amazing. That's insane. I wonder, as time goes, because kind of like TV, actors and actresses, they're able to command more money. The more the series continues on, the more revenue it generates, the more popularity is. And I wonder what that point will be for streaming. Like, how did, baseball terminology here. Trevor Bauer got like $103 million to play 3 years of baseball. Okay. But then Colton Wong, who's arguably the best second baseman in the National League, is only getting like $9 million to play second base. And he's the best at that position. I just want to know how this all works. And in baseball, I understand it's all about home runs. Like, I get that. Very interesting topic. Love having this conversation with you guys. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. To continue that Star Wars conversation, tweet us at BTBD Star Wars. Also, the live chat if you're watching live. Nick, I don't know why they could just recast Cara Dune like they did with Mom in Fresh Prince, or make her just disappear like the little sister in Family Matters. That was messed up. She was just gone. Just gone. I like Family Matters. I thought it was a great show. But I also grew up watching that show on like TV Land or whatever that was called, that old person's channel.
Alex has got some good wisdom. You know, I love Alex because he not only does he join the streams, but he really is, I would say, well above his age in terms of, you know, in terms of maturity for the most kids in his grade. He said, I know I'm too young and I don't have much to say or understanding, but I do remember Nick Cannon getting fired, then recasted for saying something rude about Jewish people, I guess. She should be recasted, which she could be, you know? And Alex, what she said was, I'm not going to say exactly word for word, but she said some pretty offensive and I guess she was making very poor comparisons to different points in history. So
very false equivalency.
Unbelievably false. So that's all I can tell you when I see you on Monday. But a lot of people I know wouldn't and couldn't care less if she showed back up. A lot of people probably would hate if she showed back up. So weird. I don't know. Don't know how to feel about it.
Don't beat yourself up too much. It's okay. It's you know, the important thing, I think when I look at this, ultimately, I would like to see the character recast. I like the concept. I didn't feel like the character was executed well from the get-go. And you can quote me on that because I've said it on previous episodes.
I think it's pretty stale.
So bring back Cara Dune. All right. So we want to remind you that we're not the only show here on Beyond the Blast Doors. You know that, of course, live Star Wars talk 5 nights a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Pete asked me to shout it out. Of course I will. Coming up next week, Ash Crosnan from Entertainment Tonight will be joining him. This is awesome. Big fan of Ash, even back when she was on Collider Jedi Council. I know she's made stops on some other shows in the past as well. I think she sat down a few times with Black Series Rebels. So really excited to have her join the network on Tuesday night. So be sure you catch that February 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 7 p.m. Eastern, or nope, Central. Messed it up. 7 p.m. Central. And that is 5 p.m. PT. All right. We just have a lot of time zones on this show, and it messes with me. And I'm just moving us all around the wall. You like? I got Poe's X-Wing fighter back here. Kind of looks like
that's nice.
Flying into my head. I'm a fan of Poe's X-Wing. I think it's
look at it. Look at Alex said, David. Look at the thing. Huh.
Ooh, and hopefully Saturday a gaming channel day. Wow. I wonder if his teacher was like paying him under the table to say that, so that way we would start a gaming thing on Saturdays.
I don't know.
Well, you got to pick, man. It's either on Twitch or it's on YouTube. It can't be both, you know. You got to.
Alex is really vying for that A, huh?
That's just
He's gonna get it.
You know, I'm gonna try and use this. The kids say this now. Sounds like there's some tea there, and I'm all about it.
Well, I mean, he already said that I was right a couple times. So, Scotty, I think you should get an A for the semester.
Okay, Arezou. I think that could definitely be the case. Yeah, no. We'll find out. We just did a really big unit on some crazy stuff, but he has no idea what we're gonna do when we come back. But that's not Star Wars related, David.
Dude, I believe Louisiana gets a whole week off for Mardi Gras. That's radical.
Oh, and it's the best.
So you have a week off, and you're having snow, which Louisianians, is that how you say it?
Yep.
Don't know how to handle snow or cold.
Nope.
You had to wrap your pipes the other night, huh?
Yes, I did. All of it. You name all the strange tropes that most people do. Like I had to let the water drip from the faucet, wrap the pipes. I had to do all of that, which was really weird for me. And you know what? I haven't told my dad this. He might be watching this. I didn't realize this. When water expands, right? It kind of causes things to, like plastics, you could say, like a door handle on a car. I literally, on my Hyundai Sonata, I pulled the handle right off, like literally, like a doof, and it pulled right off. I'm like, oh my God, I should have like poured water on it. I don't know. It's been a mess down here. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Oh,
just gonna be honest with you.
Man, I'm sorry for you. I really am. I'm sorry for you.
You know how it is.
All right, we did the shout out. We did the couple topics through the show. I think the last thing we should talk about on the show is the fact that we got a little tease when it comes to upcoming Star Wars stories. This really excites me. Gina Carano on Twitter starts dropping
Gina Carano.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Let me start that over because I just
Gavaker.
looked at a graphic. Fam, I will apologize for that comment. These are two different people. Let's try this again. Scotty, get on the right side of your screen. Come on. We're doing this right. Janina Gavaker tweets out that there might be a continuation to Ian Versio and maybe the Inferno Squad when it comes to Star Wars storytelling. And I'm a little confused because I thought innately that I'd be like, oh, well, it's probably going to be somehow Battlefront 3. Like we're getting ready for Battlefront 3 to be announced, which would be exceptional because that's something that I have wanted to see ever since we finished Battlefront 2. This Inferno Squadron, Operation Cinder. Last week on our show, we talked about how it weaves through Star Wars canon so very well through different formats of TV and movie and book and comic. And so this is what started it all. I mentioned Twitter. Crafter Anonymous. So what's Ian Versio up to around the time of The Mandalorian? Asking for a friend, tags Janina. So Janina then, go ahead, Scotty.
No, how it happened was really interesting. I don't know if you remember. It was a week ago at this time when the Gina Carano announcement was made that Arezou broke last week. And it was all in that evening. And like after all this, it was so weird how this just kind of fell into place because people were worried about Rangers of the New Republic. People were worried about a lot of stuff, but this is when I was like, what is happening? Like tonight's already insane as it is, but like that evening at like, I must have been like 11 p.m. she was tweeting this stuff. So anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, David, but the context of it's really interesting.
No, it's fine. She tags Mitch and Walt, who are the two writers of Battlefront 2. And Walt Williams actually came back and did the story for Squadrons, a game that we all like here. And so I'm going to drop this down and I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to bring this up. So this is how Mitch responded. During the timeline of The Mandalorian, Ian Versio is a former rebel, ex-special forces, a war hero, married, friends with Shriv, about to be a mother, ready for more stories. For those who are curious what she might be up to, I know I am. Listen, I love what he just did to us.
I know, right?
Again, he got us in a tizzy. I was not considering this, but is it quite possible that somehow Inferno Squadron, well, no more Inferno Squadron, but what if Ian Versio, Shriv, what if they're coming back? What if they're the Rangers of the New Republic?
Yes.
Like, let's go there. Arezou, let's go there. How would this work?
Okay, so it is I just rewatched all of The Mandalorian, so it's very clear in the episode where Carson Teva gives Cara Dune that badge. It's that is such a backdoor pilot from a writing perspective because he's like, there are things going on out here that the New Republic doesn't know about. You should help us, and hands her the badge so they're like up a spinoff. So things are happening out there. Ian Versio is clearly not hanging out with the resistance or the government, so maybe she's out there. So I think it fits in very naturally. And we already have such an amazing roster of like former rebels and all of that who don't appear, I guess, in the little bit of storytelling that we do have at that point. So I think it's wide open. Like we've got Inferno Squad, we've got Hera and her whole deal. We have Cara Dune and Cad Bane. We have like all of them doing stuff without being involved in the government side like Leia is, or kind of falling into old habits like Han is. So they're available.
How great would it be to see an Ian Versio and a Hera Syndulla team up conversation together? Like that would be really exciting. Scotty, do I need to be talked off the edge here? What would you like to see? Your dream scenario, what would you prefer and why? Do you want Battlefront 3 with more of Ian Versio and Shriv, or do you want to see them take to the stars in Rangers and New Republic?
Both, only because
greedy.
Disney wants. Did they want it? Yeah, greedy number one, but also they're going to do that cross-platforming. I mean, Cobb Vanth showing up, perfect. perfect example of that. It's got people maybe wanting to read the book now. I don't know about that. But Ahsoka, like I said in Mandalorian, she had provoked people I never thought would watch Clone Wars and Rebels to watch those things. So let's get them playing video games now. If Janina shows up yet again, or I guess Iden shows up yet again in another project, it could be Squadrons, it could be Battlefront 3, or even its own entirely different story, that would be great. That would be amazing. I think more cross-canon connections is what people want, okay? And I think I want that, number one. I know the other two and people in this would want to see more weird weaving of stories, so do it. Let's get a video game that leads up to the events of The Mandalorian or something, and she shows up and, you know, why don't I completely forgot the show? What's it called? Rangers. I don't know why. I almost called it something different.
Hey, we're
Rangers.
We got your back.
I love my team. So yeah, David, I think this is probably a really big topic to take a chance to talk about because she's wonderful. Like, she's amazing. Like, I saw her at Celebration, and I'm like, she's just the coolest person in the world. She's so relaxed, and I don't know. When she was doing press for it, she often wore her Iden Versio outfit. So, like, look, there we go. Exactly. Like, she's kind of a legend in new canon. For David. David, you got lucky, bud.
I had to earn this. The conversation started with an apology. That's not a story that's what?
No, okay. Well, don't bring it up then. Don't bring it up. You brought it up, and you now you said that's not.
We've documented it a few times on the show. You gotta make sure who you allow on your podcast, because sometimes people say rude things, and then sometimes the actresses that the person says rude things about is watching your show. Sometimes it happens. You got to apologize. You got to move on and try to be better. You know. Hot Mike, hot take. What? Bring Inferno Squad in as the Rangers. JD says. Galanorian Saber says Battlefront 3 is inevitable.
Make it more of a story, though. Hey, that's one complaint. I'm sorry. That story mode took me, and I'm not much of a gamer, like, at all.
8 hours.
Took me like 5 hours, like, for real, just to, like, from like the very beginning to the very end, like. They banked on the story mode, and then they kind of took back. And also, one thing to address:
which one, Battlefront or Squadrons?
Battlefront 2. Squadrons took forever because it's so hard. But like, to me personally, I would love a longer story with Iden. I would also really appreciate, you know, more flesh out of her character, because she's got a great backstory. You go from being a dad that's an Imperial officer to then her being part of a secret squadron of people to then getting converted very quickly. I would love to see her struggle with that more in a TV show.
There is a fabulous book by Christine Golden.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
Inferno Squad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little, if you're interested, it's a bit of a backstory, and it's fabulous.
Bring us more of that, you know.
It's better if you've played the game. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
I read it once before and once after, and it is better if you've already played the game.
The only thing that disappointed me about the Battlefront 2 campaign was the fact that you didn't get to play as Iden as an Imperial that long. Pretty quickly into that story, she does become a good guy, which is fine. I just would like to explore the bad more. But to your point, Arezou, absolutely read that book. It's amazing. Definitely check it out. You know me. I will always tell you to spend your money to support your local comic/bookstore. Wanted to do one more shout out here before we blast out of here. Want to really say a big thank you to our buddy Adam Frazier over at Slash Film. Did this awesome write-up. He does this about every week, and I'm going to try and bring this in, but he does his Star Wars bits where he just kind of shouts out creators in the Star Wars fan community and just news happening. So he talks about Charles Soule, and he talks about Rian Johnson. Yeah, if you haven't heard, Rian Johnson still doing a Star Wars movie. It's not news. He is still doing Star Wars. He's not actively working on it. Sarah Wilson, great interview, by the way. She's great on social media. She talked about Gina, talked about High Republic, and then like some quotes and stuff. And then it's like, oh, hey, we know those people. Kessel Run Radio. Yeah, they do great stuff. And then it's like, oh, Around the Galaxy.
Wait a minute.
Matthew Stover, Pete Fletcher, and then it's Baby Grogu, Beyond the Blast Doors Live, 2 Beyond the Blast Doors Network shows getting some love. A little TLC on the Star Wars bits. Tender Love and Care is that. And then we're right next to like official Star Wars content. So I just thought it was really sweet of him to include us. And he has before, but want to shout him out. If you haven't already, check out that article. Really great stuff. How he connects so many things that happen in the Star Wars news fan experience. Go check that out. /film.com. A couple minutes here before we get out of here. Kept it moving this entire episode. And before we get, there's a couple questions in the live chat, but real quick, Arezou, is there anything on your mind, Star Wars or not, that you just want to share, get off your chest to kind of close things out tonight?
For book fans, I don't quite know what's happening tomorrow, but Lissa, the publicist for Disney Books, said to watch This Week in Star Wars because there's some exciting publishing news coming. I've got no clue what it is. Nobody knows, but if you're a book fan, keep an eye on This Week in Star Wars tomorrow.
Love it. Arezou, you are one of my favorite human beings in the world. Scotty, you're also a favorite human of mine. I just realized that my Obi-Wan Kenobi, my General Kenobi, I don't know if you can see this. So if you were to be like, David, what's your favorite Obi-Wan? This clone trooper armor General Kenobi. And he's missing his lightsaber because I took it out of the box like a sucker. And I just realized that his hilt is gone. I'm sure my cat has climbed up and taken General Kenobi's lightsaber right out of the room. I don't know why I did it. Don't know why I did it. Should leave it in the box. You spend your good money on it. Leave it in the box and enjoy it. Scotty, is there something that happened this week in Star Wars that we didn't talk about that you want to drop right now?
No, the Rian Johnson thing does excite me. I think it's really important to address that. Like, that dude, regardless if he's from The Last Jedi, he's a master filmmaker and he's still so young. If he's really doing this trilogy, he's going to do it right. And the thing is, people were upset about Rian Johnson, what he did to Luke. But if Rian Johnson's writing his whole new, like all new characters, I have a feeling it might be the best stuff Disney's ever put out. That's just me. Because it's playing in a whole new sandbox. And I want that tremendously.
And they're giving him time to work on it, which is great. They're not trying to get it out by a certain date.
Because he said to Sarah, he said straight up, yeah, Knives Out 2, they're kind of pressuring me. I don't know this. I'm figuring the story out right now. And I'm like, man, that makes me kind of nervous because I love Knives Out 1, but you don't want to put pressure on your creators. You just don't. You just don't.
I don't understand Knives Out 2. Knives Out was exceptional.
Yes.
And it makes me really excited about what he could do with Star Wars. Also, like movies like Looper, really excited me about what he could do with Star Wars. Last Jedi just did not work with me. I didn't like a lot of the humor that was used. It felt not Star Wars humor. And I had a problem that things just didn't link up. And it's because he was writing before Force Awakens was even finished. So there were bound to be some inconsistencies. But there's no denying his talent. You give him fresh characters, a clean time period. Listen, this might sound crazy to you. I think Rian Johnson will take us to the Old Republic era. I think he is taking us back to KOTOR, and I think he is going to rip it up. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but I don't think you should expect to see anything for at least another 3 to 5 years. And
I think it's going to be that long. You're right. I was thinking anywhere between 5 and 10 years. Like, I don't think.
You got Taika Waititi's movie. You got Patty Jenkins in 2023.
Oh my God. So much.
You're not seeing this until 2025.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, that's fine. Let him do his things. And let's not rush the process. Let him do this the way he wants. And I think all the difference in the world will be because it's brand new characters in a time period that we haven't played in. That fresh sandbox, I think, will help Rian Johnson a lot. And I think if people who have grudges about Last Jedi, they'll come around. Like I'm really
just imagining a certain brand of fanboy, not present company, just a certain brand of fanboy.
Thank you for that clarification.
Absolutely foaming at the mouth at the idea of Rian Johnson touching KOTOR.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
like you put that out there, David, and there's going to be all these angry videos with laser eyes.
I hope so.
By tomorrow.
I hope so. I think he would be great. I think he would be exceptional. What does Rian Johnson do well in his movies? Character development.
Yep.
Pacing.
Boy.
And he makes it look really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down. I mean, I'm being very broad with that statement. Like I've nitpicked Last Jedi, but I can also celebrate every other movie that he's done. And I'm not going to deny that I love a lot of his work. So I'm not going to crap on a person. I don't think that there's any reason why any fan should crap on the dude. He's an artist and he makes good art. One more time, bring back Cad Bane. It's just got to happen, guys. It's got to happen. I don't have much to live for in this pandemic. I'm running out of steam, guys. Honest to God, I'm getting tired. If it wasn't for Mandy and I getting married, I do not know mentally what state I would be in. We were just talking about this over dinner. I was like, I'm exhausted. Like, definitely feeling a grind at work. We all are. The weather sucks. And honestly, it's kind of nice that the whole country is a mess right now with the weather because, and Arezou, I don't know if you can relate to this, but it's just like, I live in the Midwest. And so I'm used to having 5 or 6 different seasons. 3 of them are really crappy. And then like you have like really beautiful people in bikinis all year round in like Tampa, Florida. Or like you have like these very like good looking people, you know, in sweaters in like Seattle. And there's this like, oh, we love our weather. It's so great. It's actually kind of nice to see everyone miserable for once at the same time. Al Roker comes on the Today Show and he's like,
we're ready for miserable weather though. In the Midwest, in Canada, like we are I didn't have to wrap. Yeah. We've had so much snow over the last 3 days. I haven't had to wrap my pipes. I haven't had to let the water run. Like my car is fine. We're ready for it, but they're not elsewhere.
No.
Scotty, I
take no enjoyment in this.
I'm sorry.
Look at this. JD has a great question.
Do it.
I'm actually curious, Arezou. Let's talk about the Padme Funko Pop.
So
Did it survive last week?
She's fine.
I'm so happy right now.
It was a clean break. So like there was a little bit of glue on the top. So my brother just sanded the glue off and then very carefully glued it back on. So
praise.
She's fine.
I also repaired it.
Good. Oh, what a special ending. Oh, that made me nervous a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, no, I'm not. See, I wouldn't turn the Padme Funko upside down.
You know what's cool about this toy though? Like, it looks so detailed, but it is literally just a plastic action figure hot glued to the bottom of a piece of wood.
It's weird.
And someone originally paid $40 for that toy.
It's weird to think it's a toy. I wouldn't call that a toy, more or less a statue.
That's not a toy.
It's a statue, right?
Yeah.
Like a toy has like articulated parts.
Well, I'm glad that Padme is no longer decapitated because I know that's a very prized piece of your collection. I'm very happy for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Been a good time. I really needed this hour, guys. I really appreciate always coming together on Wednesday nights and talking Star Wars with you and our friends. Big shout out to the live chat, people who make time for us every Wednesday night. If you can, I don't know if this is possible, but if you guys are watching us on your TV, I would personally love to know what we look like on your TV. So this happened, and it's fine. Last night, ATG for Around the Galaxy. I hate calling it ATG. It's Around the Galaxy. That's the name of the show. And people were showing their drinks and how they were watching.
What?
And I was like, damn. Reminder: we look really good on TV. Like the product looks really good, and it just reminds us that every day our Star Wars conversation grows, and I'm just really proud of what we do here. So I want to see us on your TV. Send us a photo. Did you drink during our show? Send us those alcoholic beverages as long as you're 21 or above.
I know hashtag BTBDTV, and we'll look. Seriously.
Or you can hashtag it. Bring Cad Bane back. Scotty, I really appreciate the assist there. I know that's what you're trying to do. But I just want to see us on your big screen TVs. I'm being very indulgent right now. Ben Bamboo says Cad Bane is one of my top characters live action. I love how I've made this all just about Cad Bane this episode. Alex Klump, I agree with the Last Jedi statement, David. I also felt that Leia floating in space scene was too much after she was dead.
She wasn't dead. She wasn't dead.
She met
two.
Carrie Fisher.
Two.
She met Carrie Fisher.
You
met Carrie Fisher.
2. I will point out that not a damn one of you said a word when Kanan pulled the same shit in Rebels. Not a single one of you said a word.
I would say that most, but
I'm not complaining.
But I would also say that Kanan probably didn't make as big of an impact on the larger fandom than Leia.
So we'd rather watch her float away and die?
Yeah, I love Arezou. I think she should have been sucked out of that thing, and that would have been the greatest. That was such a touching moment, right?
No,
she was like floating in space. That was great. But also, I do think though that the Luke Leia scene at the end of Last Jedi is a top 10 Star Wars moment, and it's my favorite moment from the sequel trilogy. Matthew says it will be 2041. And people will still be claiming that Rian Johnson trilogy is happening. I think it's Ryan's running joke. He talks about it every few months just to troll the fans.
I just want to apologize to Alex. I wasn't yelling at you. I was just yelling.
I think we should have like an Arezou disclaimer. You know,
I'm just loud. I wasn't yelling at you.
This fan expressively shares feelings about Star Wars. I'll find his name, but we'll get like an Arezou warning. It'll be like Arezou's face. It'll be like, meh, meh, meh. Oh, we can sync it to the siren from Rogue One.
Oh
Ooh,
my god,
that could be cool. That could be cool. And then, to be fair, we'll do like a David's rant. We don't like this idea, Arezou. Okay, that's fine. We won't do it. We won't do it at all. All right. Anything else? No, I think we're good. Hey guys, I think we had a good week. How do we feel? Good week?
Great week.
I'm gonna go drive down and see the Pops. I'll keep.
Can I plug tomorrow's bomb bad real quick, David? If you don't mind,
dude. I'm gonna put you full screen. I want you to plug it.
All right. So I'm very excited. Jerry actually got this next guest. His name is Scott Stenholm, and he was a segment producer for Earth to Ned, which is a Disney Plus show, right? And this dude here, he worked on Larry King's Hulu show for like 3 years. I don't know how Jerry got this guest, so I'm very excited. It's going to be an interesting conversation because he was there for the Star Wars episode they did, like right when Disney Plus came out. So gonna be interesting. Gonna be really interesting. A Henson show that guy produced on. I don't know. I'm excited for it.
If you watch this show, you didn't see Scotty's face move about every fourth word, but he sounded great. So maybe for the first time in a long time, if you listen to this podcast, you're having a better experience than those watching it. And that's great. It balances out. It's nothing to be sorry about. It's like odds. The odds, may they forever be in your favor. Hey, that's on a Star Wars quote. Go to Beyond the Blast Doors at BTBD Star Wars right now. The meme was quote, the one random quote that everyone will know the movie about, and I did it for Scotty and Jerry.
I know, I love it.
Always a bigger fish, babe. It's always a bigger fish.
Fish.
Thanks for joining us. We're gonna get out of here. I have so much fun. Sometimes I just don't want it to end. It happens sometimes where I don't want to ruin the moment. I know it's episode 108, not 107. It's the old graphic. My program wouldn't update it. It's okay. We'll see each other again next week.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Blast Doors. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars conversation.